Welcome to our Live Masters TV showcase. I'm your Live Master Chavez. I'm so super excited to be back with an incredible interview and an incredible guest. We have Nancy Lee Brushett, and she is gonna come and talk to us and get to know us a little bit. It's been a while. She actually finished our Live Master interview challenge. I met her online just recently over the last month or so. And but we are. It was interesting because we're actually working in the same project, the Project Next, right? With this incredible way for us to get our message out to the masses. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But Nancy, she loves to design journals and planners and printables. And you know what? She just likes to show up every day and be as positive as she possibly can. She's coming to us live from Stellarton, Nova Scotia. Is that right? Is it Stellarton? Is that where you're living right now, Nancy?
Yes, it is. Stellarton, Nova Scotia.
All
kind
right.
of like in the middle of the province. Yeah.
In the middle of the province. Okay, so I'm broadcasting to you live from the fabulous city of Las Vegas. It's 4:05 here and it's 8:05 there. It's kind of interesting. You have a whole 4 hours. There's an Eastern and Atlantic time zone. Atlantic time zone is actually another hour after Eastern, right?
Yes, a lot of people don't realize everybody usually does things by Eastern Standard Time. And then when you say Atlantic, everybody kind of goes, well, what time is that? It's an hour later. And it's funny because we have another province that's further away, Newfoundland and Labrador, and they're a half hour in the difference in time.
That's really cool. So, well, as you come into this broadcast, if you're live like Jackie and Christina and Jim Weaver, or you're on the replay, just let us know where in the world that you're watching this video so we could kind of get an idea where you're at. It's really fun, right? Again, like I'm in Vegas and Nancy's there in Canada. It's a part of Canada really that I'm not familiar with at all. So it's really cool to get to, meet Facebook friends and connect and learn where people live. And that's one of my favorite things. So now this video or this broadcast that we're actually doing, is inspired by our challenge that we have in our community Live Masters, where I did a series of 6 videos where people go in and they answer the videos on video in our group or on their personal page. And then we come and we do an interview like this so we can get to know our incredible guest. And that's Nancy today. So Nancy and I have been talking for a minute about what she does in journaling. And she kind of has an interesting story about journaling. So before we get into that with Nancy, let us know in the comments down there if you're a journaler, if you maybe grew up writing journals, or you're still passionate about writing journals. Is it something that you totally embrace? So Nancy, tell us what started your passion about journaling, and I know it goes way back.
Well, as a kid, and I know there's all kinds of people who probably had one, we always had this diary, right? And you always used to write in your diary and, of course, keep it locked and hope nobody found it and things like that. And then today, a lot of people think that journaling is a diary. And really, it's not like when you were a kid. It's kind of the same, but not. Because in a journal, when I start, I kind of write everything, most of what I do every day. You can have a gratitude journal. So you could write, like I have one separate journal that's just for gratitude. Every morning when I get up in the morning, I write 10 things that I'm grateful for. And then I have another one that tells about my day, what happened, whether it's good, whether it's bad. And it helps sometimes just to go back. You actually have a start point, and you can see when you're journaling how far you've come in a journey. Because sometimes you don't know and you're always feeling negative or bad. But then when you go and you look back, you can say, hey, I've learned this from that. I've learned this and this. And so I find journaling is very inspiring for me. I love doing it. I love the writing part of it. I like the pen to paper. Some people have digital journals or write notes on their phone and things like that. But myself, I like the pen to paper because it stays. You can either take it right out of your head. If you're having a bad day, you can take it out of your head and you can write it down and then forget it. Or you can have a great day and you can just enjoy and be grateful for what happened. So I just happen to love journaling, and I am passionate and probably addictive to journals.
It's funny you said it's your journey, right? You're just writing out your journey, and
Yes.
that's the root word of journal. So, and I never even thought about that before. The difference between a journal and a diary, because I mean, if I was to write a journal, I think that's pretty much how I would conceptualize it in my mind. Can you go in a little deeper about that as far as like the difference between the two?
Well, the thing with the diary is like you have all these little secrets that you have, as you're a kid or a teenager, growing up, and you're putting down your most, deepest thoughts, really. And in a journal, you're kind of doing the same thing. It's just that if you call it a diary to an adult, they revert back to when they were a kid, and that's what they think. So it's kind of like the diary with the lock on it, and you hide it. And other people just have journals, and some of them hide them, and some of them, leave them out, because they can be about your deepest thoughts. They can be about anything in your day and what's going on. It can be positive. It can be negative. There's so many different things, that you can write. You could have an argument with somebody and it can upset you, and you can write it down. And when you write it down and then read it back, you may have a whole total different opinion on how that argument actually went, and be able to go talk to that person again to solve it.
Oh, that's amazing. Let me ask you this: do you think that if you start the practice of journaling and you do it all the time, do you think that's something that would help you make it easier for you to write out your goals? Maybe.
Oh, most definitely. Yes, it definitely would, because you can write out what you want to do today. You can write out what you want to have done in a week's time, a month's time. You can put your yearly goal down and then go backwards. Okay, so this is what I want to have done in a year, but then what are all the things you're going to do in order to get to that year? So you could write out like the weekly, the monthly. Like I have different journals for different things. Like I have one that's all my deepest feelings and, things like that. I don't know if I'd want anybody to actually read it, but, I have that. Then I have, one that's for goals. And then, like I said, I have one that I use every morning for my 10. I always write 10 for my what I'm grateful for.
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, okay, so explain to everybody that's watching this video right now what all those are behind you, above your head, across the
back there.
Yeah.
Those are all blank journals, and on the other side, which you can't see, are all the journals that I designed. But I have, like I said, I'm fanatic about journals. So whether I walked into a dollar store, Dollar Tree, Walmart, any store, I automatically go to the journals. And that's what I was doing. I was just buying journals so that if I decide that I want to start writing on any topic, like I have one of the journals I use for Project Next. So if I have any topic that I want to go, I just go to my wall of journals and I just pick one on, what I want to use it for.
Do you have a hard time keeping track of all the things all those different journals that you're writing, or do you have them pretty much organized?
No, I have it organized. Yeah, I have to have it organized. Otherwise I would get lost. Yeah, but I do have it organized. I have a certain type for each thing that I use them for. So there's about maybe 4 in a group, and they go for this one project. Others go for something else. And I have a certain one that I use for my gratitude journals all the time too. They're kind of usually the same. If they're not exactly the same, they're the same type of journal that I use.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of got crazy with all the journals and everything. And I think I sat down one day, and this was a couple of years ago. It was just after coming out of a bad relationship and trying to leave that behind. And I was only happy when I was around my journals. And I could sense that. I said, okay, these make me really happy. Why? Like, why is that? And it's so funny because a couple of days later, I saw a friend of mine post on Facebook, and she said she had just designed these planners. So, of course, I sent her a very quick message and asked her how. She sent me a link, and there was a course that she had taken. So I managed to go and do the course, and I stuck to it. And I said, wow, I said, if I love journals so much, there's got to be something else I can do with them. And that's what I do now is I design the journals, I design the planners, and I'm going to be adding on to that. As we were talking about before, I'm going to add on to that. I want to help people change their negative thoughts to positive thoughts through journaling.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You know, I'm excited to see some of your work too, because we're going to talk about how we can incorporate that journaling aspect into doing videos, right? Because there is a connection that can be made, a transition or pivot or whatever, if you do one or the other. And so all the videos that I've done can be transcribed, but like you said, there's something about pen to paper. But I was thinking when we were talking before about how all of the journals that you've written is massive amounts of video content. Now you're doing videos already and on your personal page pretty regularly. And, it's very interesting how when we had that conversation about that, and I gave you that idea, like, well, listen, how many journals do you think how many books do you think you've actually filled up?
There's some of them that are gone, unfortunately, from moving and from a relationship, like I said, I had, that some of them got lost. But I can't even imagine. I've got about 20 or more. I know, because they're all in another spot, and they're all lined up like from when I had them and what they're for and things like that. So I do have quite a few. And since we've been talking the other night, I actually got one of them out that was from the relationship I was in, to try to get ideas for videos and for content, because I'm trying to work on right now I'm working on a workbook that's going to be like anybody who's in an who has been in an emotional relationship or toxic relationship, and has gotten out and needs to build themselves back up, needs to build their self-confidence back up, their self-love, their self-talk. I'm working on a workbook for that. So I'm getting lots of notes from some of the journals that I have that are helping me to do that workbook.
Yeah, workbooks are really, really cool. I shared with you, and I've shared this before a couple of times, but I got this amazing gift from one of my viewers that watched my videos probably since the beginning. They live in Minnesota, and the gentleman's a pastor, and he made me this binder, and it's all leather, and it has all of my sayings on it. Feel alive, going live, your journey to video mastery begins here. Anybody that watches my videos knows that I say that on every video when I start. And then it has my name on the back and everything. But what's really cool is it has a book, a little composition book that I can just write. I can just put in here like that. So that's about as fancy as I get. I mean, those things are a dime a dozen at the Dollar Tree, So it's pretty cool to do that. I got to start journaling. I think I need to start journaling. Would you help me do that?
Definitely, I can help you. Yeah, I can definitely help you with that. This is my very first journal that I did. It's all blank pages. And on the front cover, it says, love yourself, trust your instincts, and follow your heart. That was the very first one I did.
Well, so listen, what is it easy? For me, it would be so hard to write on a journal with no lines on it. How do you, isn't that more difficult to write?
Did you say with no lines?
Yeah.
No, there are lines on it.
Oh, I thought you said it had no lines.
Oh, no, it's just a lined journal. Like some of the journals that I have done, I have little prompts in them as well. Some of the different ones I have, like it'll say something about confidence, or it'll give you an idea on something to write, because some people like to have prompts in order to know what to write for that day.
Right.
Like one of them could be list 5 things that made you smile today.
Oh, that's a good one. Maybe the people can just drop that in the comments. I'm sure they can think of 5 things that made them smile today. I know this video is one of them for sure, because Nancy's amazing. I love this. This is really cool having you on here. And
then I had one. Now where's it at? There's one that, this here is a picture of Coconut Creek in Florida.
Mm.
You know, a friend of mine lives in Coconut Creek, and her husband was out for a drive on his motorcycle one night, and he stopped and took this picture in the evening. So, of course, when I saw the picture, I asked her if I could use it. And so what I did is I used it, and I sent her a journal. So this is a picture of her home that she has. So some people that have certain pictures, I'll just do a cover, ask them if I can use the cover, and then I'll send them a journal.
Wow, that's really cool.
Using the cover, yeah. So.
Oh, so it'd be pretty easy to make a Live Masters journal, wouldn't it?
Most definitely.
Yeah. Now the wheels are spinning.
Yeah, now they are spinning.
When they were spinning the first time that we talked about that, because I had mentioned to you about, and I showed you that little book that I had and stuff. You know, I want to have like a little something, right?
Yeah.
For that. But so now, you want to share what it is that you want to do for Project Next? Because we're in the same program, and I'm working on my course for social media, video, and all that good stuff that we're doing here to get to know people. What are you focused on the Project Next?
My focus on Project Next is going to be for someone who is in a toxic relationship that is. Oh, thank you, Lori Lynn. I don't know if I said it right.
Sure.
Is focusing on people or women that are in a toxic relationship, an emotional toxic relationship. Because I know there's a lot of people that are also in physical, abusive relationships and everything. Mine was more emotional, like as a narcissist type of way. And what I did, like after leaving that relationship, you got to really talk to yourself and realize that you're not that bad person. Your self-esteem goes down and everything. So I want to, through journaling, I want to be able to help women be able to love themselves again, do exercises that we can, get to that point, and we can do like different little things. So my classes are going to be, and my modules are going to be about helping people start to love themselves again, bring their self-esteem up, their self-confidence, their motivation, and help them get to the point where they may have been before the bad relationship.
I love it. Listen how she just framed that for us. I mean, that was incredible, because you're using this journaling superpower. Like you're really good at this. I can tell because you have so much certainty, and because you have so much belief in it, because it's helped you through things in your life. And
Yes.
that's I think the connection that we kind of, we're on the same frequency as far as serving other people, because that's what I've done through the videos. The videos have helped me. It was like my vlog or video journal of my life every day, doing videos, for the last 4.5 years, has been my way of dealing with stuff. But then it's inspired other people. Imagine that. So I know that you are going to inspire and help a lot of women go through, get over some stuff or get through some stuff and get it out. And like you said, write it out and figure it out the way that it's helped you. So I'm excited for any of my friends that are watching this video right now. You can tell your friends about this video if it's something that you think that they would like, because I know Nancy's really going to help a lot of people. And it could be you, or it could be one of your friends. So don't be afraid to invite some folks to this broadcast and let them know how amazing it is that Nancy's going to be doing this. So how far along are you on that? Are you going through the course right now, or are you doing just like one thing at a time? What are you doing?
Well, I've actually gone through the course, but I kind of was getting some places stuck with it and everything, but I didn't want to stop, so I went and I finished it. So now I'm in the process. I'm going through it again, but now I'm doing the work. Like I spent a lot of time this afternoon just doing research online for all the different things that I wanted to do, plus my own information that I had here to try to start putting things together. So it's going to take time, but my deadline that I have for myself is hopefully by the end of August. So that is my goal, what I'm going for. I'm going to start up a challenge, actually. I was thinking of doing a challenge probably in a couple of weeks doing a Facebook group and, doing a challenge and doing about 3 different points, to help with the journaling. And then the rest of it will be diving deeper into the course.
Beautiful. I love it. So did you guys hear that? So that's why it would be really good for you right now if you're interested in learning about this challenge that's coming up. I'm excited about it. I'll probably join it. I love challenges. Haven't seen that many challenges around lately, actually, like we had last year. So yeah, definitely. If you want more information about the challenge that's coming up, Nancy, in a couple of weeks, what's the best way for people to connect with you to get that information?
They can connect with me on Facebook.
Okay.
Just under my name, their Facebook, or if they want to send me an email, I have an email address. It's B as in Bob, Nancy Lee @gmail.com.
Okay.
So they can send me there. Or if anybody just wants to, like even chat about something like now, and maybe they are going through something like this, or they know somebody who's going through this, because I know when I was going through it, not too many people knew. Because you actually have it in your head or your mind or whatever that, no, this isn't true, that you are the person who's in the wrong all the time. And the other person's always in the right because they're such a nice person. Nobody's going to believe that this is happening. And there's a lot of people in that situation. And some people know, and most of the time they don't. So if there's anybody, like that you're aware that could be in a situation like that, or if it's yourself and you just want to chat, send me a private message anytime. I'm more than willing to talk. I've already had a few people that just from the Project Next that have contacted me, and we've just been talking back and forth.
You're awesome. You're amazing, Nancy. Now, listen, what I would like to do at this point is invite anybody that has a message, that has something they want to share, just like Nancy did in this interview. We have our community live masters. There's a video challenge. It's the live interview challenge. That's what this video is all about, is where I get to actually interview her. And it was really cool because she did 6 videos in the group, and some people got to know her there. And now y'all are getting to hear the whole story here on this video. So if you want to come on and get interviewed, I would love to have you. I would love to have you in the group and go through the challenges. Let me ask you, Nancy, how challenged was that? Was the challenge that challenging? What did you think of it, of the questions that I asked in that challenge?
Well, actually, it kind of took some of the nervousness or whatever away because you knew what to answer. So because you had the questions there, it made it easy. Like you didn't have to think about it. There was no, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? It was all right there. Okay, this is the question. What's your answer? So you could go on in a minute or two and, just, answer the question. So I enjoyed that part that you actually, it's like a guided challenge. So I was glad that you did that.
Yeah, I try to keep it simple. All the videos are only 3 to 5 minutes. You go in there, you watch the video, like Nancy mentioned. You go in there, you do the video yourself. It just be up to a minute, 3 minutes, whatever, and just keep it simple. And it is an amazing way to get to know folks. And so it's open for anybody that wants to come and do this. I love interviewing people. And one of the coolest parts about it is, we get to talk a little bit here and there, and then I get to share. I feel like I'm sharing Nancy with all of you right now. So I would love to do that with you as well. So Nancy, thank you for coming on. You've been an amazing guest.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, you're always welcome to come back. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about your challenge. And like I said, I want to check it out. I'm totally interested in filling up this book right here. This beautiful. Wouldn't it be a shame? Wouldn't it be a shame if I didn't take advantage or really just have real gratitude for what somebody took the time to make for me with their own hands, and I only write in it. As sad as that sounds, right? So I probably should take your challenge and fill up some of those books and learn about how to write a little bit better, because I think it can only help me make better videos. Yes,
exactly. Yeah, no, it's a great idea.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right. Thanks again, everybody that is tuning in live right now, or if you've come back to the replay. Really appreciate it so much that you've decided to spend some time with us tonight. Again, if you saw any value here, please invite your friends to this broadcast. You can tag them. You can hit the share button, whatever you want to do. But we will be back tomorrow with a brand new video. I'll come back with a video tomorrow. maybe by myself, maybe with a special guest. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, I would like to come up with surprises for you. So thanks again for watching this. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. Nancy, you're amazing. We'll see you.